Hey, what's up, brothers and sisters? Waiting on the bus, going home from work. Thought I'd try to get these two videos out the way. And these are what the title says. This is a message from my parents, my biological mother, my stepmother, and my dad. So we'll start with my dad first. This message it came about because me and my dad don't talk. Me and my dad have an abnormal relationship where we have not talked since I left the house when I was about 28 years old, right before COVID. I remember my dad was in bed. He was going through it before it was a big deal. And I've been through quite a bit. And we communicated a couple times, but it was never really a phone call or any type of, checking on me or anything like that, really, since I left the house. So this is what I would have told my dad if I ever got a chance to talk to my dad now as a grown man that has lived life by himself up until this point. My dad, Dad, you're somebody that would say everything I've done, everything I'm doing, that I've gotten myself into this. Dad, I know you would look at my life right now and be highly disappointed. It's understandable. You felt like you gave me every opportunity in school and at home to be in a better position than I'm in now. But because of your poor parenting, there really was no, you'll say, well, you're my son. I watched you grow up, so I know you. When really you didn't. There was really no real understanding of how I was conducting myself as a kid and a teenager. A lot of it is based off of what you've experienced yourself and stuff like that, where you felt like, I guess, you had me figured out, and I'm not saying that it was impossible to have me figured out, but I was just a different child. When I say different, I mean that from what my grandmother said, your mother, was that by you marrying this woman, when you married my stepmother, that took your full and undivided attention away from me, where I started having to do and look for, I don't want to say love, because that wasn't what it was, but I needed that attention that my grandmother and a lot of other adults saw. You saw when I was by myself in my life, that was generally when I was most successful. And, everything was always, I'm making excuses, or one of the things that you like to say a lot is that I have an answer for everything, which now that I'm a grown man and I understand that there's nothing wrong with having an answer. There's nothing wrong with thinking you have an answer, and you basically run a trial test to see if you're correct or not. And Dad, I'm just saying, man, when you pass away, you are right now on a path where you're not going to get a chance to see your grandkids. At this point in my life, I feel like I'm the father that has to reach out to every single family member and tell them, hey, I'm still alive. Yeah, I got kids now or whatever, because you guys are just so spiritually bankrupt that y'all think y'all know what family means and y'all don't. I know that you would be disappointed in me because of, the career path that I've chosen, as far as not really a career, but just having the need and the responsibility of having a job. I'm not making $25, $26 an hour. I'm not the guy that I remember you once said that there was a guy at your job that was like same age as me at one point, 27 years old, and he's working 12-hour shifts, and he got family and all this other stuff. That's cool, man, but that ain't for me. Out of all your kids, meaning, my brothers, your stepkids, and, pretty much your kids, I'm the most intelligent out of all of them, all right? I don't care if Devin went to college. I don't care if Xavier did whatever he did. And certainly not Jeremiah, but I'm the most spiritually mature, the most mentally mature, the most intellectually mature child that you have out of the bunch. You're never going to see that, because the minute I start talking like this, you're going to get upset. you're gonna say that I think my shit don't stink and all of that. So yeah, my father, he's missing. You're missing out on a lot, man. You're missing out on a lot. I know I've called you a couple times and I've told you that I've gone through some pretty rough moments in my life where I even deleted my pets. I had a dog and cats and stuff like that, and I ended up getting so frustrated and so angry with life that I removed them. And I called you and I cried and stuff like that. And I remember when I reconnected with Madison for that moment, and Madison said that when she saw you at the funeral, that she asked, how's CJ doing? And you replied, child, just pray. You're a pastor. And that was your response, child, just pray. So the pathetic treatment that I'm receiving, it seems to have not stopped yet. You're probably telling yourself, well, what can I do for you? And there's a lot of me that believes that, yeah, man, you're doing this because you want me to develop my own mindset, my own way of thinking, my own solutions, solve my own problems without having any interference from my dad. I understand that. I do. You don't want my thoughts to be your thoughts. I understand that 100%. But I've just seen a lot, and I've gone through a lot in my life where I feel like you would be proud of me if you actually had an opportunity to hear this message or to hear me talk. It's because of my, I'll talk about that in another video, but I go to the weight room, man. You've taught me a lot to help me get through a lot of what I've gone through out here. I mentioned the weight room because it's true about what they say. When you feel good physically, you actually feel good spiritually. And I think that you would be hella proud of me if you saw how I looked physically. And then we already know that you mock me based off of how I talk and I like to articulate myself. And you think that I'm trying to do this. You think that that I slip and fell and hit my head on something, and I think I'm smarter than I'm not, or whatever. I already know. I got tired of that. Basically it's like, and I told you, it's like I have to dumb myself down to talk to y'all. To pretty much all my family members, I gotta dumb myself down to talk to y'all because y'all will start to just feel overwhelmed or think I'm complaining, or nobody want to hear all that, because you guys are not problem solvers. You guys are pretty, you guys like to evade real issues, but then have the nerve to go to church and talk about this stuff. Oh, excuse me, brother. Hi. So that's one thing that it'll probably just a lot of people, I'm not gonna say a lot of people, but myself really, I just they say, well, why does it matter? Why does it matter that because I know you would say that too, like, CJ, you 30 years old, man, why are you still talking about me and my wife? Well, again, I had a brother in Devon whose dad called him, and Carlton would sometimes get on Devon nerves with the phone calls, but Carlton was present even though Carlton didn't live with Devon. Carlton was present, almost like something he invested in and wanted to get the best.
Station. Siguiente estación, West Alabama Galleria.
He wanted to get the best bang for his investment and his son. Xavier, we already know Andy Ray was not present in his life. My father, pretty much was Xavier's dad. And I do believe that if I would have went the same route my brother did, having kids, once again, just kind of dumbing myself down with just kids and in and out of jail and basically following my brother, then you would have been able to deal with me a little bit better, because you would have seen basically that what I was doing was getting myself into shit that would have made my life harder, like we seen Xavier do. You would have been like, man, CJ, if you're going to be doing all that, you need to strap up. Man, CJ, if you're going to be doing all that, man, you need to... That's what you would have said. You would have just, like I said, dealt with me on a very low frequency, because of the mistakes that I would be making of just common sense. Like, bro, if you want some more money, get a job. if you want to be out here having sex with women and stuff like that, use a condom. Like, that's, 1+1 is 2. But because I didn't do any of those things outside of going to jail and stuff like that, you really didn't know what to talk to me about. You didn't know what to try to, you didn't have that. You wasn't eager to want to pick my brain and try to find out that your firstborn child is very intelligent. And, that's just me, man. If I knew I had a family member out there like myself, I would constantly contact this person like, you all right, bro? You good? But again, I don't, that's one of the things that you kind of unintentionally taught me, was to just learn how to be alone. Learn how to not worry about what people are not doing for me. And just deal with it. Like I said, you were the guy that went outside and did yard work, and you did everything by yourself. You never asked a house with me, Xavier, Devin, and Jeremiah. You never would ask us for help. And that, to me, helped me in my own life, because a lot of things that I do in my life, most things that I do, I don't ask for no help. I'd rather just do it myself. And that taught me a lot. You know how many compliments I get at jobs when they say, man, you work hard as hell, bro. Like, and I really do have that feeling of joy. I'm like, my dad did this, bro. Like, my dad taught me how to not complain at work, and when things get busy, man. You know how many people be like, man, why didn't you call me and ask me for help, bro? I'm like, nigga, I don't know. I don't know how to do that. I just work. I expect you to be a responsible adult and see that I need help and come help me. Other than that, I'm not finna beg you to do nothing. So, Dad, I'm disappointed in you as your son. A lot of your character traits I don't like. One of the things I would always shake my head about was your fandom for the Dallas Cowboys. Year in and year out, watching you have egg on your face, and then you go to church and talk to people like Isaac, that Kansas City Chiefs fan, or you talking to Derek, which is a Denver Broncos fan, or you're talking to Denzel, which is a Baltimore Ravens fan. And all of these people had success during the time that we were all growing up, except Dallas Cowboys. What, that 11-3 season? Like, to watch my dad just walk around as if he was, as if we're from Manchester, New England or something, and we're Patriots fans and we win all the time. No, that was not the case. My dad would get all suited and booted up and all of that for a Cowboys game, and then have to sit there and endure all the different clown ass things that the Dallas Cowboys would do. And that got very, very disgusting to watch. Like, my dad is acting like a loser. My dad is showing traits of a loser. Like, when are you gonna do a Skip Bayless and throw these jerseys in the trash and like go to another team? You know what I'm saying? Like, I know your wife don't like to be associated with a loser, but she's just a follower, so she's just, she's on her third marriage, so she's trying to make it work. She ain't gonna do nothing to really rock the boat with my dad. My dad is the last, man that she'll ever be with, and by her standards, he's the most tolerable of her bullshit. So, the Dallas Cowboys thing, my dad really wasn't, a lot of things I saw in you, Dad, I was just really disappointed when I saw like who do I get this from? For me to act like I act. And my dad is really, he used to, I remember when Dad used to call me a class clown. And you assume that everywhere I went, everything I did, I'm trying to make people laugh and look at me. Nigga, no, I don't. I hate attention. I hate it. Because I know the type of, when you get attention, the first thing that you do, the people that are looking at you, they're then going to judge you, a little bit more harsh.
You guys come out the front door, baby.
Thank you, Miss Lady.
All right. Sorry about that.
I'm young. So, yeah, man. That was a holy shit. I thought this nigga was like, I thought that was somebody like laid out. I was like, it's a guy sleeping by the charger. I used to have to charge my stuff here at the bus station. Sometimes do every now and again, but you got guys like that who basically post up and he's spending the night right there in front of that outlet. But yeah, Dad, I wondered who I got this militant behavior from, you know, because like I said, as I grew up as a kid and I used to go on tyrannical, fussy, you know, moments and stuff like that, people would laugh. Hey, Dad, it's almost like Bernie Mac. Hey, Dad, it's almost like Red Fox. Hey, Dad, it's almost like Richard Pryor. These comedians that are genuine about what they're saying, and everybody just think it's funny because of the way they're saying it. That was your son. That's me. I wasn't going to school. Knock, knock. Who's there? Pull my leg. Oop, fart noise. Nigga, that's not what I was doing. Because my grades was so bad, I didn't want extra attention. Not in that way. Oh, CJ, you did a good job on your spelling test, but then you over there doing something stupid. So, you know, no, that wasn't me. I was fucking up so damn much and such a low performing human at that time where, bro, I did not want that type of attention. So you were incorrect about that. The relationship I had with your mother, my grandmother, was the relationship that I should have had with you. And several people just kept telling me over the time, over my, you know, over growing up out there, that they saw what was going on. And for you to think that I'm walking around the community trumpeting the fact that my parents aren't doing X, Y, and Z, that's a lie. You know how many adults saw what I see now? Then they would just tell me like, bro, it's all right, man. We know you're not even trying to ignore it. I mean, you trying to ignore it. We know that you gonna say it ain't a big deal, but we see how this is affecting you. And I would just look at them like, oh, okay, whatever. You know, it is what it is. So that's my message for my dad, is that, Dad, as a son, I'm disappointed in you. As a father, I would look to model myself after you. Guy that goes to work, come home, doesn't cheat on his wife, doesn't beat on his kids or his wife, doesn't use profanity, take care of everything around the house.